got a minute left. If you need a pencil, get it now. They're in the same place the others are, right by the yellow bucket. Track me. Waiting on 4, 3. Waiting on 2. And 1. Okay. Who can tell me why there's a 1 here? There's a 1 here, and there's a 1 here. Dave. That's the question? The question is, who is cutting lawns at a faster rate? Well, we have 2 rates, right? 3 lawns in 5 hours, 5 lawns in 8 hours. What's up with the ones? Turn to with your partner. Why is there a 1 on each side? Why? Yes. Why is there a 1 on each side? Okay, bring it back in 3, 2, track me, and 1. Waiting on 2. Waiting on 1. Thank you. Okay, so why is there a 1 on both sides? Caleb.
The one for how many lawns into 1 hour.
Nice. In order to compare them, we need to find out how many lawns they each cut in the same amount of time, which is 1 hour. Now, I heard a great discussion over here, Jacob. What did you say to Savannah?
Well, what I said was, it showed 1 hour per lawn.
Okay. When I walked by and I heard you say something, and I'm like, yes. Do you remember what that was?
Hour per
Lawn.
lawn per hour.
He used the phrase lawns per hour. Lawns per hour means what, Aiden? Lawns in
Each hour.
in each hour or in 1 hour. Good. Okay, so in order to compare them, we want them both to be in lawns per hour, which means in 1 hour. Right now we have 3 lawns in 5 hours, 5 lawns in 8 hours. I can't really compare those two, right? I can look at those 2 fractions and how do I compare them? Well, we need to have the same amount of time on the bottom. Look around the room. Do you notice something new? Point at it when you find it. Point at it when you find it. No voices. 1, 2, 3 people up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You, hands down. What did you find, Isaiah?
I found that unit rate and rate.
In black is your rate, right? We've learned what a unit rate is. It's represented on our wall now. Hector, tell me what a unit rate is. The answer? What part of the answer? No, you can look at the poster. That's what it says. What part of the rate is the unit rate? Astrid. What part of the rate is the unit rate? Turn and talk to your partner. You can look at the poster. Turn and talk to your partner. Raise your hand when you know. Woo! Mario, what part of the rate, so everything in black is the rate, what part of the rate is the unit rate, Mario? 9.43. Now, in this specific example, it's 9.43. But if I asked you in every case, what part of the rate is the unit rate, what could you tell me? The numbers. The simplest form of the numbers in the rate is your unit rate. What part is the rate unit, Deja? Right, in this example, the rate unit is the yards per second. Now we said in this example the unit rate was 9.43, but in general, the unit rate is the simplest form of the numbers. Now, in general, what is the rate unit? Rudy.
Like on here?
Sure. In this problem, what's the rate unit?
5 hours.
Whoop. The numbers are the
3 loads
unit
per
rate.
hour.
The numbers are the unit rate. What's the rate unit, Aiden? So what I'm asking for is the definition, right? We picked it out of our example that the rate unit is the yards per second. Now I want you to tell me the definition, Aubrey.
Definition of rate unit is this one, it's belongs to hour.
It is. So in this example on the board, it is lawns per hour. But can you tell me in general what the definition of a rate unit is?
Definition of a rate unit is like the wording, like what?
Yes. The what?
The wording.
Can you say it louder?
The wording.
The wording. The words that tell us what we're talking about. Also, excellent use of a complete sentence. Did you hear her? Both times she answered my question, she used complete sentences. Good job. Okay, so like Aubrey said, lawns per hour is our rate unit here. Our unit rate we haven't found because like we said, the unit rate is the simplest form of the numbers in our rate. 3/5, that is not the simplest form. And now that we have our handy dandy calculators, we can find the simplest form. Go ahead and find what 3/5 is equal to, and remember what we learned in Module 0, fractions are division. So what do you think you're going to do? When you have it, write it down. I'm coming around to check. When you have it, write it down. Round to the nearest tenth. Okay, let's talk about it. Press give me 5. Oh, let's try it again. I need 100% without talking. Give me 5. Waiting on 3, 2, putting on 1. Thank you, hands down. Okay, so in order to find the missing part of our fraction, what do I need to do, Santiago? I need to divide. Divide what? Now, can you say that confidently because you are correct? Yes. We need to divide 3 and 5. 3 by 5 or 5 by 3? 3 by 5. Remember, when we say and, it doesn't tell me the order, right? If you say divide 3 and 5, which one am I writing, which one am I dividing by? Right, we use the word by. What? Sure, so Aiden divided 3 by 5, and he got what?
0.6.
Yes. 0.6 lawns in 1 hour. Okay? Who cuts at this rate? Look back at your problem, raise your hand when you know. Who cuts at this rate? Deja. Support? Raylan? You do. Right? The problem says you do. You may not know it, but you do, according to the book. Okay? Now your friend cuts at 5 lawns per 8 hours. Okay? But once again, 5/8 is not a unit rate. It's not the simplest form of the numbers in the rate. How do we find the simplest form of the numbers in the rate, Daniel? And why? You got it. I know it's hard to explain sometimes, okay? You've got 8 hours. You want how many hours? You have, yes, exactly. You have lawns in 8 hours. You want lawns in 1 hour. And how would you get from 8 to 1? Santonio, how would you get from 8 to 1? You would divide by 8, and whatever we do on the bottom, we have to do on the top. So we're dividing 5 by 8, and that's why, right? And Santiago, did you put in your calculator 5? Can you tell me what to put in my calculator? 8 divided by 5? Well, I divided 8 by 8 to get 1. So what am I doing on top, Savannah?
Divided by 8. We got 5 divided by 8.
Nice. Yes, and you got 0.625. Now, the problem asks us to compare these two rates, right? We're comparing you to your friend to find out who is cutting lawns at a faster rate. If you're cutting lawns at a faster rate, is the unit rate more or less than the other person? So who has the faster rate? The unit rate that's more or less than the other person, Aiden? Okay, you need to write that. Yes?
Is faster? Wait.
Which one is faster? The one that is more or less than the other, Deja? So this is a common mistake that we make. That's okay. That's okay. Okay, no. Track. Here's the thing. When I ask you a question and you give me your answer should be a statement, not a question, right? So if I say, what's the unit rate? And you say 0.6, is that a question or an answer? Not like a question, right? I want you to say, the answer is 0.6. Because what happens if you're wrong? What happens in here? If you say the answer and you're wrong, what happens, Santiago? Nothing. Nothing happens. We move on with our day, right? And we find the answer together. So I don't want you to, even if you feel unsure, I don't want you to give it to me like a question. I want you to practice being confident, okay? So, we're comparing two rates. The question asks which one's faster. A lot of us look here and see that 0.6, because it's the same thing as 0.600, is less than 0.625, so this rate must be faster, right? Here's why, okay? Here's why. We're finding the number per hour, the amount of lawns per hour that each person cuts. Now, if I cut more in the same amount of time, I must be moving faster, right? So, my unit rate that is more tells me that person did more work in the same amount of time. So are they faster or slower, Hector? If I do more work in the same amount of time, am I faster or slower than the other person? I'm faster, right? If I get more done in the same amount of time, I am moving faster. So, who cuts lawns faster? You or your friend? Caleb.
Friend.
Your friend. Confidently. Nice. Next time try a complete sentence, okay? So, how do I write this as a complete sentence, Aiden? You need to answer the question, who is cutting lawns at a faster rate? What can I write?
Your friend is cutting lawns at a fast rate.
Yes. Your friend is cutting lawns
At a faster rate.
at a faster rate. So you should be writing this. Pencils are in your hand. Your friend is cutting lawns at a faster rate. This is how I expect to see your answers on your homework, on your exit tickets, and on your tests. Oh, sure. Same for that. Okay, I'm coming around quickly to make sure you write it down. Make sure you write neatly so you can read your own handwriting. Okay. Remember that I do not respond to folks that don't raise their hands. If you have a question, raise your hand. Now, let's move on to example 2. We don't have any information here, do we? I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to tell you what you need to know. So, for example 2, suppose you own a restaurant. Okay, let's say I own a restaurant. I want to do some advertising, okay? And I'm going to hire 2 students. I'm going to hire 2 students to take menus out around town and deliver them to people, to advertise for me, right? I'm going to hire 2 students to deliver menus all around town. One student, Deja delivers 350 menus in 2 hours. This is Deja. Thanks, Deja, for your hard work. Make sure you're writing as we go. Deja? in 3 hours. Now, when I hired Deja and John to do this work for me, I promised that whoever did it, whoever got their menus out the fastest, that I would give them a $10 bonus. Ooh, right? Whoever got their menus out the fastest, they would get a $10 bonus. You want that $10? Let's find out if you earned it. Okay, so what do we need to do to find out? Let me write John here. To find out who delivered their menus at the fastest rate. Raylan, can you tell me the first step? What is Because I don't need to know, right? I kind of already know what we need to do, right? What do you think needs to know? Yeah, so can you speak loud and proud and tell us what our first step is? You're right. Can you speak loud and proud? Can you say, divide?
Divide.
Yeah, there it is. Thank you. Okay, yes, we need to divide. First, let's go ahead and fill in the blanks that we know, okay? Because yes, we do need to divide, but I want to show my work in a way that's logical, so I can look back and see what I did and why. Okay? So what can I fill in? What do I know? What do I know, Santiago? That's what? 350 menus. Oh, I have 2 blanks for menus. Where does 350 go, Aubrey?
In the left one.
Left one. And why the left one?
Because the other menu is your end.
Because we know how many hours we can deliver 350 in. We don't know how many menus we can deliver in 1 hour. So how many hours does it take for Deja to deliver 350 menus, Deja? 2 hours. Beautiful. And Raylan says our first step to solve this is to divide, and she's absolutely right. There are 2 reasons. Who can tell me why I need to divide? John.
You have to divide so you can know what the constant rate
Yes, I want a constant rate per hour, not for 2 hours. Good. So I want to know 1 hour, not 2 hours. Okay? The other reason is that we have a fraction, right? And what did we learn in Module 0, Jacob? What did we learn in Module 0 about fractions? That you should, when you lay down at night, you should just, that's what you dream about.
So module zeros, they're like fractions or division.
Fractions are division. Fractions are division. So we can always divide them into a fraction. Go ahead and do that on your calculator. Raise your hand when you have it. I've got almost 100%. Mario. Alexa, you got 175. And what did you put into your calculator? 350 divided by 2, and she got 175. Beautiful. Yes, sir? It's okay. Now let's figure out if that's enough to win her the $10 bonus. Or John earned it. Okay. Nope, no voices. Princeton, give me 5. Hands down. Hands down. Okay. What can I fill in? Caleb. Where can I put 510? I have 2 blanks for menus. Do I put on the left or right? The left. And why on the left? Because that's the that's the left. Isaiah, help him out.
Under 510 was 3.
Because we know how long it takes to deliver 510 menus. We don't know how many menus we can deliver in 1 hour. So how do we find that number, Hector? Divide by, divide by 510. So when I'm going from 3 to 1, 3 divided by 510 gives me 1? It does? Let's check our work.
What?
Well, that's not 1. I made a mistake somewhere, right? Good thing I checked my work. What should I have divided by, Daniel? Well, that's what we just did. We got a crazy decimal, right? So,
Yeah.